Hi everyone, so today we are going to start vibration. Okay, so what comes in your mind when you first come across the word vibration? So vibration can be basically defined as a to and fro motion about a fixed point. Okay, suppose this is a fixed point. Okay, and if body or a particle moves from this position to and fro motion in a fixed manner or in a repetitive manner, then it can be called as a vibration. But what are the conditions for a vibration? That is very important. So first condition is the body should have mass. Okay, so first condition is mass, and second one is elasticity or stiffness. Okay, stiffness or elasticity, these are the basic important conditions for vibration. Okay, now what does this mean? Why these conditions are important? Suppose that there is a slope, okay, like curve shape, and there is a rigid ball and it is moving along this path like this one. Okay, at some time it is at right hand side, at some time it is at left hand side, and at some time it is in the midway. Okay, now here also this ball or particle is moving to and fro about this point. Okay, this point, like suppose that this point is AB. Okay, now this ball is moving to and fro about this point in a repetitive manner or in a equal time period, but can it can't be called a vibration? Yes or no? No, this cannot be called a vibration, because in vibration we are dealing with this property, elasticity, but here the ball is rigid and we are not considering here any type of elasticity or stiffness for this oscillation. Okay, so that is the basic difference between oscillation and vibration. In vibration we have some like it is related with internal feature of the body, means strain energy. Okay, strain energy. So vibration is related with strain energy. Why strain energy? Because strain energy depends upon elasticity, that's why. Okay, so in vibration we deal with actually the internal structure of the body, because a body is made up of different types of molecules. Like there are some molecules which are randomly oriented. Okay, so we are considering the vibration of the internal molecules, it is not the external phenomena. Okay, it is related with the internal structure of the body. Okay, now you have got the idea that what is the difference between this vibration and oscillation. Oscillation can be viewed as a physical displacement of the body. Okay, but in vibration these are the minute displacement which occurs inside the body, not outside. Okay, now let us proceed further. So first let me erase this. Now suppose there is a body. Okay, like a spring. Okay, and now there is a mass attached to this spring. Okay, now this mass is in equilibrium position. Equilibrium means there is no force acting on this mass. Okay, now suppose this mass is displaced from this point to a distance x. Okay, now whether it will exhibit vibration or not, that is important. Now so we are going to now study regarding this motion. Okay, so suppose this mass is at initial position OO, and after displacing by distance x, this mass come here. Okay, this position. So whether it will exhibit vibration or not, that is important. So from Newton's second law we know that now this spring has spring constant k. Okay, now from Newton's law we know that sigma f is equal to m into a, where sigma f is what? Sum of all the external forces acting on a body. Okay, now if the body is displayed by a distance x, then what is the external force acting on this body? Minus kx, because it will act along this direction and body is moving along this direction. So these are the opposite. Okay, direction of motion is opposite, or and force of action is opposite to the direction of motion. That is why minus kx. Okay, now m into x. A is what? A is acceleration. So we know acceleration is what? Dv by dt. And what is v? V is dx by dt, where v is velocity. So m is here. So a can also be written as d square dt square. Okay, double differentiation of x with respect to time. So we are representing this with x dot. Okay, x double dot. So this can be written as mx double dot. Now mx double dot plus kx is equal to 0. Okay, now from differential equation we can write here as m d square x dt square plus kx. Okay, now here dx square by dt square plus k by m is equal to x. So you might have studied how to solve this equation by differential equation method. So it can be written as d square x plus k by m into x is equal to 0. So x d square, where d is what? D by dt. Okay, this is represented by d in partial differential equation. So d square plus k by m equal to 0. Okay, so either it will be, this will be 0 or this will be 0. So x cannot be 0, because if x will be 0, then there is no meaning of motion in this. Okay, we cannot put x equal to 0, because if we will put x equal to 0, then there is no scope for vibration. So we have to make this 0. Okay, so d square is what? Minus k by m. So d is what? Under root minus k by m. Okay, so this is basically d is equal to iota k by m. Okay, d is what? Iota k by m. So we now solve this equation by putting d is equal to iota k by m. So x is what now? It can be represented as c1 sin x or c2 cos x. Okay, so this is the general equation for vibration of a motion along a single direction. Okay, in this direction, this is the solution, right? Or a single degree of vibration. So let us rub this. Then we will move further after rubbing this. Okay, now let us take another example. Okay, suppose that body is attached with a spring and it is vertically hanging. Okay, and the body's mass is m. Now at equilibrium position, for this mass to be in equilibrium position, sigma f should be 0. Okay, so what are the forces acting on this body mass m? There will be a force acting downward, that is called mg, and there is a force acting upward, in upward direction, that is a spring force kx. Okay, suppose that the initial displacement is x naught, so kx naught. So what will the net force? Kx naught minus mg, because they are in opposite direction, is equal to 0. Okay, so kx naught is equal to mg. This is the initial condition when the body is in equilibrium. Okay, now let us suppose that this mass is displaced from this initial equilibrium position by distance x. Okay, so what is the equation for this motion? From Newton's second law we know that sigma f is equal to ma. Okay, so what are the forces acting on this body? Mg, first force is mg, and second one is minus kx plus x naught. Why x plus x naught? Because initially the spring was stretched by a distance x naught. Now it is again displaced by a distance x. So net displacement is x plus x naught is equal to m into a, and we can write a as x double dot. Earlier we have discussed regarding this. Now what is the value of this? Mg minus kx minus kx naught equal to mx double dot. Okay, now from this equation we can write kx naught equal to mg, so this will cancel out. So what we are left with? We are left with minus kx is equal to mx double dot. This implies mx dot double dot plus kx equal to 0. Again we have obtained the same equation, like for this. For horizontal direction we were considering this mass, and for vertical direction we are considering this mass, but the equation we obtained is same. So that means again in this case x is equal to c1 sin x, or we can also write as x is equal to some another constant c2 cos x. Okay, so we are again getting the same equation. So why again now taking another example? Okay, we will take another example for an inclined body. Okay, first let me erase this. Now suppose there is a body attached with a spring and mass m. Okay, with angle theta, right? The inclined plane angle is theta with the horizontal direction. Now spring stiffness is k. Now for this position, again in this direction we can write as, for initial position, kx naught is equal to mg sin theta for initial equilibrium position. Okay, because in this direction, suppose that this is the m, here it is mg, in this direction it is mg cos theta. Okay, and in this direction mg sin theta, right? So this is the initial equilibrium condition. Okay, now again from Newton's second law, sigma f is equal to ma. Okay, now what is sigma f? Minus kx plus mg sin theta equal to m, sorry, here it will be x plus x naught. Okay, because initially it was stretched x naught, now it was again displaced by distance x. Okay, so kx plus x naught is equal to mx double dot. Okay, now we can write this equation as minus kx naught plus mg sin theta. Okay, is equal to mx double dot. Now from this equation here we can see that kx naught equal to mg sin theta. So kx naught and this will cancel out. So what we are left with? We are left with mx double dot plus kx. Again you can see this equation. Again we have obtained the same equation. So from all these three conditions we can now observe that this